Hello, welcome beautiful, vibrant souls. So today's pick a card reading is really going to be kind of messages of hope and inspiration from your angels, spirit guides, etc. Particularly regarding a situation where you feel like you've had a loss. Excuse my hiccup, I'm sorry. I was drinking coffee. Particularly, where you feel like you've had a loss. So these are kind of like a pep talk, like don't cry over spilt milk, look at all the good stuff that's coming. That your angels and your spirit guides, your ancestors, your loved ones really want to highlight for you at this time. It's really, really easy to get kind of drowning and lost in feelings of grief. And that's totally normal to have grief over loss. I'm not saying suppress your feelings. But your team wants to kind of let you know why things are going according to plan, why things are going to work out, why things had to go the way they are, and in a positive light, what you're getting out of it, right? With every ending, every death, there is a rebirth, there is a beginning that's implied. So if you're experiencing a difficult situation, this reading is likely for you. We have 3 options to choose from as usual. We have group 1, and I have a little bag with all my dice, so I kind of just shook it out with each one. So this is completely by chance, and then I rolled them. So whatever numbers they landed on, this is very much the message. So we have group 1 with this octahedron, and it landed on the number 2. We have group 2, with the icosahedron, and it landed on 13. And we have group 3 with the, this one's tough, pentagonal trapezohedron. There we go, I always stumble over that. And it landed on the number 5. So take your time, meditate, contemplate on the stacks in front of you. When you have selected the option that you feel the most drawn to, head down to the timestamps in the description box below. And with that, I'm going to get started with group 1. Hi, group 1. Okay, let me see. Can you see everything? I got this is the tarot deck that I have pre-shuffled ready to go to clarify your reading and get more information. But yeah, hello, welcome. So you picked the octahedron, and the number 8 is associated largely with abundance manifestation. If you're watching this at the time I'm releasing this reading, we just had the Lionsgate portal on 8/8. So there's something where I feel like for this group, I feel like there's something where you're trying to manifest something and you might be going through some sort of loss first, right? With the number 2 here, I'm thinking about partnerships, but what I'm almost thinking about is whatever is being lost almost feels like it's a part of you, a part of your identity. This might be a relationship. This could be a job that you were like, oh my God, I love my work. There's something where I feel like it either has happened already in anticipation of you manifesting this new beginning, because I feel like whatever this is has been in your intentions, in your auric field for a minute now. So whatever kinds of loss that caused you to reevaluate your identity, I'm really kind of getting don't fear that, because it's actually leading you toward what you've been wanting, and what's manifesting for you might seem like it's out of nowhere, but you've been manifesting it for a very long time. So for example, I'm trying to think of a good example. Say you have been manifesting your you've been wanting to find your dream home, right? Or find the place where you really want to live, and you've been manifesting this forever. This might be where you and your long-term partner break up, and it seems totally unrelated, but it's that would have been, later on down the line, you would see that would have been the blockage toward you moving into your dream home or toward your dream city or something like that. I almost get the feeling that these two things are not related. And so it might seem like not only did I not get the thing I've been wanting, but now this other thing that's important to me is being taken from me. And what your team really wants you to know is try not to don't lose heart, don't freak out, because it is actually, it matters. It's going towards something. It might take a minute to see exactly how all the pieces fit together, but they've got you. They're not going to leave you high and dry. I'm just realizing I may have tilted the board. Can you guys see? I'm always really good at doing that. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. Like, don't have heart. I also feel like with the number 2 here, excuse me, you might be kind of like switching trajectories or paths, and I feel like you're getting a support coming in to help you with that, like a really good friend. If you're swapping, like if you're moving to a new job, like you're gonna have a coworker there that's just like on your team and in your corner. Sorry if you can hear my bones crack. I don't have a good excuse. I'm old. It's just your spiritual team wants you to know they're sending in some help and some love and support to help you through this time. So let's see what you have. Oh, you have Akasha. You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life wisdom. I love that. Wow, yeah, exactly. The 8th house partnership with intimacy. So we have investments, intensity, contracts, sex, erotic capital, secrets, mysteries, obsessions, inheritance, Kundalini energy, stalking, and the underworld. So I'm really drawn into intensity, obsessions, and stalking. We will talk about it, but this is usually Scorpio energy. Anything in your 8th house might play a particular role here. Ooh, nice. We have Amber with the card 15 that reduces to a 6, but this is awaken your creativity. Oh, I love it. Somebody's name might be Amber. Just keep that in mind. And this is, whenever I'm drawn to use this deck in a reading, this is always kind of like what is blossoming in your life, what's kind of coming into form, into being. So this is either coming up like soon or like on the not too distant horizon. Oh, nice. Okay, I always mispronounce this, so I'm sorry, but I'm going to say nasturtium. With victory and conquest. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. Lao Tzu. Okay, we're going to pull tarot in a minute, but let me just make sure. Can you see these? Oh my God, you guys, I put them even this time and everything. Oh, saints be praised. I'm terrible at that. Okay, so first and foremost, there's something here where you had a soul contract. You have several soul contracts that are, I feel like some are ending and some are beginning. You are naturally a spiritual being, a spiritual teacher. This has been cultivated in multiple lifetimes. The 8th house can talk about past life karmic energy, among many things. You know, and with I was really drawn into, what was it? It was intensity, obsessions, and stalking. There's something where I feel like you were intensely connected to whatever this is. I want to know more about it. What is this thing that group 1 was really connected to there? Okay, the 4 of Pentacles reverse. I want to take this one. Yeah. The 3 of Pentacles. Okay. So this could very well have been a job. It's this one. And the 5 of Cups reverse. And I want to just look at this but not take it. The 7 of Swords reversed. Okay. And at the bottom is the 10 of Cups. So whether this is, I'm feeling for many of you, there's an important partnership here, right? Excuse me. We have 2 Pentacles cards, so I'm inclined to think this is either work related, or this is like somebody that you have shared financial investments with. You have something that you share with them materially. You might share a home with them, especially with that 10 of Cups at the bottom. But this is somebody who you work together as a team, or you have worked together as a team, seemingly very well. I do feel like there are probably cracks in the foundation that are going to become more obvious the more distance you get from this situation, from this person. But this is something where I feel like with the 5 of Cups reverse and the 4 of Pentacles reverse, this gave you a sense of stability during a really rocky period. You may have met this person after a loss and they really helped support you, excuse me. They were really supportive of you. For some of you, and this is a very specific message, and I'm not like a mental or physical health professional, so nothing we talk about should be considered substitution for professional diagnosis, treatment, or advice, love bugs. But for some of you, you met this person, they helped you work through some, maybe some anxiety or depression. They really helped you kind of like go through, like they helped support you during a period of a lot of like mental health kind of ups and downs and instability. They helped you kind of work on that. Maybe they helped you get help. For some of you, excuse my coughing. For some of you, this is like only going to be a message for some. You've been seeing the same therapist for a while, and they recently just like had to, like they recently shut down their practice, or it's like it feels kind of sudden almost. There's something here where it feels like a sudden change, but you really opened up to this person, and I feel like you and this person did a lot of really important work together. And Spirit wants you to know, first and foremost, you know, this person could have been a teacher to you, but I also feel like you were a teacher to them. But regardless of how exactly this resonates for you, you and this person had a soul contract, right? And it's very much about, you know, the 8th house can really deal with, it's not on here, but can also really deal with power dynamics. So there may have been a distinct power dynamic, again, like if somebody was your therapist, right? That's a very defined relationship. This is a romantic relationship. You and this person had, you learned a lot about yourselves through the power dynamics, right? And I feel like, for a lot of you, I feel like it was more one-sided, like one person was kind of more the teacher here, but this can also resonate both ways. So you may have really helped them, they may have really helped you. I'm shifting in my chair, sorry. But one of you helped the other to really get to know themselves, right? If you were more the teacher here, you may have really learned a lot about your own personal power, been able to see your own journey through new eyes by helping support this other person. But there's a lot of, like, you guys got to really help each other out in a very important way. There's intimacy exchanged here. And this is why losing this situation has been so challenging, because you do have a soul contract with this person. This person could be part of your soul family. You could have past lives with this person. You've really you've really either supported them at a distinct time of need. You've helped them with the 4 of Pentacles reverse and the 5 of Cups reverse. You've helped them take their walls down, or you've helped them rebuild. You've helped them heal emotionally, or they've helped you like that. And this is honestly, like, you know, in terms of what's coming next and why this is important, your team wanted you to know that you had to have this soul contract with this person in order to either recognize your own wisdom and power, or for this person to help guide you into a new phase, right, of your wisdom and power. And again, for some of you, this will go both ways. This will be equal. But for many of you, I do feel like there is one person is distinctly the teacher in this connection. The other person is more the student. So I am kind of seeing that. And I do feel like the soul contract ended. I want to get more details about that, though, because I'm spiritually nosy and sometimes just regular nosy. I want to take this one. It's hiding from me. Oh, wow. Yeah, we have the Lovers reversed and we have Temperance. Okay, this is a very important soul connection. Excuse me. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, guys. And the 3 of Pentacles again. So I wanted to know how this ended, and we have these 2. So first of all, with Temperance, we have Sagittarius energy here. We have Gemini. These are opposites from each other on the wheel of the zodiac. So you guys might be like an opposites attract situation. You might really, oh my God, I'm sorry. Hang on. I feel like because these 2 people are both holding a pentacle, you both had something to offer each other, right? Even if it was more of like one person's more the teacher and one person's more the student. I'm sorry, you guys, hang on. Oh my God, my asthma. Woo! You both had something of value to offer each other. That's why you have this connection, this relationship. But in terms of the way this ended, I feel like one of you chose a different path. Look, there's a butterfly here, but not here. One of you was ready to transform, and the other one has some work to do on their own. And this is why there is this point of separation. Because, you know, soul contracts, I think we have this idea in our mind that soul contracts, we experience them the same way for the same length of time, right? And it's kind of like a linear time frame sort of mentality. And it's my personal belief, and you don't have to subscribe to this, but it's my personal belief that, you know, we can have a soul contract with somebody where we're helping them with some energies, they're helping us. And then even when we separate physically, we're still doing that work. But once you've learned all the lessons, I think the energy doesn't stay with you the same way, the same intensity. But that doesn't mean that the other person is off the hook, right? So if you've already learned your lessons, it's my belief that you're not going to experience the same energy as intensely, because why would you, right? There's no point to it. There's no more learning in it for you, so you're kind of like, you're free to go. But that other person might still experience, you know, your energy or like your memories together come up for them more. They see signs and synchronicities of you more often. It's because they still have lessons to learn from the experiences you've shared together. And this is kind of what I'm seeing here is I think one person did the transformation work and the other person has yet to complete it. So this might be where one person is already personally transformed. We see this with the 8th house, personally transformed, and is helping the other person with it. Or that within this connection, you both had transformation to make, and one person has successfully done that, and the other person still has a little ways to go. And your team really wants you to know that, like, this is very much this energy of, first of all, there was alchemy happening here. Again, you both had something to offer each other. I feel like you both had something to help balance each other out. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But your team also really wants you to know that, like, this soul contract, like, you've done everything you can do. That's the reason why there's been a separation, a derivation. That's why you've gone on separate paths, because as much as you could possibly do together, that was accomplished. If you are still struggling with this, there might still be lessons that you have to learn, or that, you know, energies that need to be alchemized. And this can go the other way, where you've really already learned the lessons, and the other person is still working on it. But what I'm seeing here is that there was a choice that was made with the Lovers reversed. And if somebody chose to end this connection, or somebody chose a different direction that forced the connection to fall apart, to end, you know, if this was a job, if somebody went with another candidate, somebody else got promoted over you, you know, you got let go over somebody else. The other person involved really thought they were making the best possible choice at the time. This person also too, I feel like the other person involved in the situation has some secrets that they have things that they haven't disclosed to you. And I don't feel like this is like, ooh, spoopy, sparry secrets. I feel like this is just, they might have their rationale, their decision making makes sense to them. It's not that they just made a decision without thinking about it. I think they just haven't told you about their thoughts, their motivations, their kind of their plans, right? Like it makes sense to them whether they have communicated that to you or not. But your team does want you to know this, that there is divine timing here, and I know nobody likes that, I'm sorry. There is divine timing here, and there is healing and alchemy happening in any separation going on with this person. Now I want to get a better idea, if I could pick up the freaking cards, about what this is bringing in for you. I love that we have awaken your creativity. We also have victory and conquest, very fiery energy. Excuse me. So what this is bringing in for you, you know, this might literally be your creativity. You might be manifesting quite a lot. I'm just rolling the dice. I'm shuffling, there we go. But I do feel like the biggest thing this is bringing in is that you're finally able to move forward in something, where I'm looking with the 15, it's making me think of the Devil card in the tarot, where you were blocked prior, and this is because you've really done the shadow work. You know yourself, or you're coming into that knowledge and awareness. You know yourself in a way that you did not before. You're able to overcome your fears and have victory, where before you may have crumbled, you may have shied away from it, you may have you know, struggled with consistency and not been able to build. So this is what's being unlocked for you through this situation, is you are stepping into your power because you're owning every piece of yourself, good and bad. You're holding yourself accountable. I don't want to say good and bad, but like, you know, strengths and weaknesses, right? You're holding yourself accountable. I feel like for some of you, you were in a cycle of building towards something, self-sabotage, and then self-punishment, really heavy punishment. And the thing with that is that in, you know, self-reflection and awareness is a good thing, but when we make mistakes and we jump right to self-judgment, we can rob ourselves of a really valuable discourse where we actually learn things about ourselves that will help us make that transformation and help us have long-term retention with new habits, ideas, you know, goals, things like that. And for some of you, I feel like you were lost in that cycle of like pressuring yourself, you know, pushing yourself, struggling to maintain it because that inner work hadn't been done, self-sabotage or like tearing things down, and then intense self-judgment and punishment that motivates you to keep, you know, to go again, right? To keep pushing again, and that starts the cycle all over again. For some of you, you're letting go of that, right? You're getting in touch with your more spiritual emotions, things like creativity, you know, that creative drive, passion, inspiration, compassion for self. You're tapping into what makes you feel happy and powerful and inspired instead of what makes you feel judged, criticized, and scared and belittled. And that's what you're using as motivation instead of those lower vibrational energies. Oh shit, that was channeled as hell. That's awesome. You guys are doing so good. So I want to know more about what this is. Oh, okay. I love when it does that. Oh, Jesus. Look at you. Full of power. And you know what's interesting? It just like flipped the dice to a 3. This is a number of creativity and self-expression. Look at you. You're amazing. Okay. Yeah, at the bottom is the Page of Cups with the boobs out. There we go. Anywho. So we have, the Magician, of course. The King of Pentacles. This King of Pentacles kind of looks like Shia LaBeouf mixed with a little tiny hint of Post Malone sans face tattoos. I like it. I'm here for it for like 100%. And the Page of Wands reversed. Okay, there's that creative impulse. So for some of you, we have Gemini energy here, as well as Virgo. And we have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and Aries, Leo, Sag. So any of those signs may apply. For some of you, you have a creative talent. This is especially something that I like how we have the snake here too. So again, transformation. This could have to do with your words, your ideas, but you have a creative vision here and you are like making fucking magic with it. I feel like you're sitting on a gold mine in terms of your own talent. You don't even know how powerful you are. You don't, and maybe this is what you're waking up to, but like you don't even, it's like, this is because look, he's not even looking. They're not even looking at each other. It's this energy, and he's looking at the page, and the page is reversed. I feel like a lot of you have spent time looking at all the things you haven't done, looking at all the perceived failures you've had instead of the talent, the raw talent that you have. And this is why breaking these cycles was so important, because you needed to learn a new way to have power over yourself, because you don't even know how talented you are. I cannot stress this enough. You don't even know how magical you are. You don't even know how good your ideas are. You're sitting on a fucking gold mine. And then you know what? He's looking over here. He's not looking up at the cup at all, right? It's like way above him. This is what I feel like was missing, is that there was this disconnect to certain important emotions that needed to be healed, especially with the Page of Boobs here, the Page of Cups reversed at the bottom. I don't care about boobs being out, by the way. I say do whatever you want with your boobs, but YouTube is mad about it, so boo on BoobTube. Anyway, so yeah, like this is like you don't even understand how good you can do it. I think maybe you're waking up to that now. This is like, I feel like you guys are about to become like an animal in the best way possible. Some of you want to start your own business. Some of you want to monetize a talent, creative passion, a hobby. But I feel like you're starting to look at this journey now really differently, right? The Page of Wands to me is an adventure. They're enthusiastic as hell. They're ready to go. They're ready. They're ready to start something new. They're not afraid of what it takes. We have the desert here and the cacti, so like they're like, all right, I'm ready. They don't care what they have to sacrifice for this. They're just so excited about the journey ahead. And the thing with the Page of Wands is that they have a lot to learn. They have a lot of growing to do, but they have the enthusiasm and the drive to keep them motivated, to keep going. They're also kind of an adventurer. So for some of you, this is about moving, or this is about going to a new place, or it's a new venture. And I feel like you're looking at it very, very differently than you've looked at it before, because you're looking at yourself differently. You're starting to say, well, what if I did that? What if I tried? I could do this. This is actually a great idea. You're learning to talk to yourself differently. And I think this is important because with Akasha, you do have spiritual messages to share, and it's important. And this is why you were meant to meet this person or have this job or be in this situation, because they had something to offer you, and you have so much to offer the collective. And it was imperative that you woke that up within yourself or healed and cleared any blockages toward it. And vice versa, excuse me, if this was you helping them, I feel like this was another way to really show you your own wisdom, show you how far you've come. For some of you, you might be interested in writing a book about your experiences. You might be interested in becoming a coach. So for example, like you know, if this was a relationship, maybe you taught this person a lot of relationship skills and now you're ready to try to be like a dating coach. Or, you know, if this was a job where you were always like helping out your coworkers, you were always showing them what to do, you might be ready to reach for a management position. There's something where you're finally looking at this new journey, this new beginning, this venture with a truly open heart and open eyes because you're seeing yourself more clearly now. So this is actually really cool. I want to just pull a couple cards of advice to kind of end your reading. Wow. All right, fine. I see. So cards of advice, we have the Six of Pentacles reversed, more boobs, I'm sorry, the Tower reversed, and the Seven of Wands. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is, it's kind of a reiteration. What your team really wants you to know is that you are making the changes, or you've made the changes that you needed to make, right? Things have transformed within you, and this may have felt challenging and difficult at first, but it's leading to, or has led to, this long-term transformation. There may have been a situation that feels like it was unfair, right? It feels like there's a lack of closure, reciprocity, there was iniquity here, and I feel like what your team wants you to know is that there's, I'm looking at the, like, what looks like a shooting star here. There's a wish coming in, right? The star always follows the tower. There's a wish coming in, and they want you not to block your blessings as much as possible. This experience may have felt unfair, but it will pay back dividends, you know, energetically. I'm hearing commercially, so spiritually, however this manifests for you. So what seems like it's unfair, you will gain all of that back in a new form at another point. And it's like, you've already paid your dues. Don't block your blessings as a result of this. Try to not hold on to anger while you're remembering your power. Because this was very much, you're gonna see in time how much this serves you, how much your team was looking out for you by bringing this person or situation into your life, and then by having it exit. So I think that's everything I have for group one. I hope this has been helpful. I am just wishing you healing, love, and full hearts. I'm so happy I got the chance to read for you today. I hope I get to again in the future. So take care, love bugs. I'm going to move on to group two. Bye. Hi, group two. Okay, so we have a lot to get into. Group one was whew, spicy. So for group two, you picked the icosahedron with 13. This always makes me think of the death card, which is interesting. We had a lot of Scorpio energy in the first reading. So if you're drawn and you couldn't decide between the two, you may want to go back and watch group one as well. Especially when I went to go move this, it flipped over to the one. So there might be this ending that is promptly bringing in a new beginning. I also am thinking about too, where, you know, if you're familiar with D&D, this is a 13, so we're not quite smack dab in the middle, but it's pretty close. It's neither a nat 1 nor a nat 20. So I feel like this is something where you might be on the fence about something happening in your life. You might be like, was this good that this happened? Was this not? And it's more positive, slightly more positive feelings toward this transition, this ending, than negative, but you're still not really sure about, like, like, it's kind of this energy of like, did I just get shorted or not? I don't know. But I feel like you're trying to maintain a positive attitude, and your team is commending you for that. So let's see what you have. You have Astara. You deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires, and don't compromise. Okay, so immediately what I'm getting, by the way, for some of you, you're contemplating something and you're like, is this good enough? Is this not? And first message right there, your team wants you to know if, especially if there's been an ending and there's now a new beginning, either in the same situation with the same person, etc. Like if you broke up with somebody and now they're coming back, just keep this in mind as you're trying to answer any questions about new situations or renewals in your life where you're like, is this good enough? Don't settle when it comes to your dreams and your desires, right? You only have this lifetime as you are, this person. And you're writing your story, right? So what kind of story do you want to have? What kind of characters do you want to have in your story? So I just want to share that. Anywho, we have, Aries. Okay, so some of you might be Aries or asking about an Aries. This is the Radical. We have active, self-starting, daring, fierce, assertive, fiery, exhilarating, innocent, on a mission, bossy, driving, sparky, courageous, selfish, macho, impulsive, argumentative, and competitive. So I'm really drawn to daring, assertive, exhilarating, and selfish. I think I see where this is going, but we'll look here. Excuse me. We have green, revitalize your nervous system. So this is card 31 that reduces to a 4. And then this is a deck that I always use it for like new things blossoming in your life. So whatever situation has ended, gone awry, it's quite a mess, it's all muddled. What is it bringing forth, right? What is the lotus that's appearing out of this mud? We have magnolia, nobility and self-esteem. Yep. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. The true nobility lies in being superior to your former self. Ernest Hemingway. So this is actually a pretty straightforward message for a lot of you. First of all, look at all the green here. Here, we have accents of green here. For a lot of you, you might have significant Libra placements. You might have like Aries moon, Aries north node is sort of something I'm getting. Aries in the 7th house, Aries in the 12th house, something like that. Because I feel like a lot of you are very calm, cooperative people to the point where, it's calm on the surface, but to the point where you might almost stress yourself out trying to maintain harmony and stability with others. I was really drawn into selfish on this card too, because I feel like you're being called at this time to be a little selfish. Because I feel like, and the reason why is that if you chose this group, especially for this group, your concept of selfish isn't even selfish. I feel like you would have to try so hard to be even a droplet of selfish. So even when you think you're being selfish, you're just having healthy self-esteem, right? You're just having, you're just being self-focused, and there's a big difference, right? It's important to be self-focused at times. You need to equally balance your energy poured out to others and your energy poured in toward yourself, right? And especially with whatever this is, which I'm about to pull about in like 2 seconds, it is very important that you don't settle. I'm pulling about it right now, and you can't stop me. Okay, so we have the 6 of Cups reversed. Yes, I can see that. The 4 of Coins. Okay. You know what's interesting? Even though this is the coin suit in this deck, I always say Pentacles, and I'm going to say why that's interesting in a minute. 3 of Wands reversed. And then the Hanged Man, so Pisces energy is reversed at the bottom. The reason why I think it's important, because I always say Pentacles regardless of if it says coins. It's not like a sticking point, I just do it by nature, but I said coins here. And you know what this makes me think is that I feel like if you pick this group, you might tend to play by the rules very heavily, or you watch what you say, what you do, you very much monitor your behavior so as not to offend people. It's like, no, if this person said coins, that's how they meant it, and I'm going to stick to that. And that's a beautiful set of traits to have. But to the point where you might diminish your own desires, your own power. So in terms of why this is so important to not settle, I feel like you're holding on to a person or situation from your past, and it's blocking the manifestation for what you want. So there's something where you might be really nervous about letting something go. And there's a fear here that you're not going to get what you want. There's also a fear here of being fully in your power, because there's a fear of being a selfish person. You may have had to, you may have learned to accommodate others a lot, because that was a program, subconscious program from childhood, right? It's a method of achieving safety and connection. But it's to the point where, if somebody asked you, what do you want? your first response might be something like, oh, it depends. Like, what do you want? Or like, oh, it depends on who else is involved, right? It's like, I'm noticing with the wands, it's like you're always having to triangulate your desires based on the other people involved, based on the other circumstances. And your team is saying, no, not right now. Enough with that. Done. What do you, my lovely, sweet, beautiful group 2, what do you want, honey? Like, and a lot of you, I feel like, can't answer that question. If you're struggling to spend time in nature, that's going to help ground some of this information, because your team is trying to help you figure out what you want, especially if you're on the fence about a situation or a person. This is absolutely something from your past that is hanging around. Excuse me. Because the thing is, I feel like you're at a point where you can manifest this. You can manifest what you want, especially, you know, again, this is a timeless reading, but with the Lionsgate portal, you can manifest whatever you want, honey. But it requires that you get very, very honest with yourself. So what is it that you want, right? What is it that you do want to experience? You want to manifest, right? What kind of main character do you want to be? What kind of story do you want to write? Because there's something with the Hanged Man reverse that I feel like there needs to be a reevaluation. It's like you need to look at the situation from a new perspective. I feel like there's a fear of like, if I lose this situation, if I lose this person, if I lose this job, there's like fear of letting this go. I want to find out why. And I was called to pull this card out of the middle of the deck. The 7 of Wands reverse. Yeah, I feel like you know, there's this shooting star here. There's a wish, and it's like you want to grab it, but there's also this timidity, right? There's a fear here. And there's something where you're afraid to let go of this situation or person from your past. For some of you, this is something that you used to want really heavily, and it just doesn't feel like it's in alignment anymore. And there's a fear of letting it go because it requires letting go of who you used to be. And that's really hard, right? Again, death energy, ego death. I want to kind of figure out a little more of what this fear is, kind of hone in a little closer. We have the, Queen of Swords reversed. Yep. And the Page of Wands. So somebody here, we have feminine air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have the King of Wands at the bottom, so Aries, Leo, Sag. There we go. And then we have the Page of Wands. This would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius as well. Side note, whenever I see a king or queen of one suit and the page of the same suit, I always think of that as a parent-child relationship. So this might be related to a father figure, a masculine energy, or a fire energy from your childhood. But what's at the heart of this fear with the Queen of Swords, there's fear of making the wrong decision, but there's also fear of owning your power in a way that you have yet to step into it fully. And with the Queen of Swords being reversed, like I said, this could also come from childhood, from somebody who was manipulative, who had distorted relationships to power, somebody who would use your words and actions against you, somebody who also somebody who may have struggled to own their own power, and that was passed on to you. But I feel like for many of you, this person was very difficult. This person may have seemed very confident or been very demanding, but it's like you had to accommodate them all the time, and especially with revitalize your nervous system. This may have really caused this like survival mode. So for a lot of you, you're working on coming out of that. And part of that process involves owning your journey and owning your power. So it's really about, if you're on the fence, it's saying, if you had to look at what I'm kind of getting is, if you had to look at the person, the job, the house, the roommate situation, the friend, just the way they've been, just the way they are, and using your gut instincts, like, do you really think they're capable of change? And because some people are, but like, do you think that's something that's really in the cards? And let's say they couldn't. Let's say it was just as it was, just what they've taken the time to show you. And your guides are being very particular about the way they're phrasing this. They have taken the time and the effort to show up the way they have. This is a job. Your boss has shown up the way they have for a reason. This is a relationship. Your partner has put in the certain amount of effort or lack thereof that they've put in. Something caused an ending. And this also could, be like an ending in terms of how you view them, right? So it might be where you're starting to think about, do I want to get a new job? Do I not? Something caused you to ask that. So what is that thing? And even if that thing has nothing to do with this other person, situation, whatever it might be, something within you caused you to ask that. So dig a little deeper and ask yourself, if nothing changed, would this be enough? Would this be the story that you want your life to tell? Because you're the one writing it. So is this the story that, you know, at the end of it, when we close your book on this lifetime, is that what you want it to have said, right? If this is a relationship, do you want a tepid halfway love? Is that enough for you? If this is a job, do you want to just get by, or do you want to have to always worry about the next, you know, doing the wrong thing, walking on eggshells? Is that the life you want to live? And it might be that when you look at this, you know, it's like, okay, I may have overreacted, or, you know, maybe I thought I wanted this, but when I'm really looking back at the situation again, there was a lot of good stuff that I'd like to invest in. And either way, your guides want you to know there's no wrong choice here. No matter what you pick for yourself, if you look back at this situation and you're like, you know what, I actually would like to invest in this, I think there's a lot of potential, that's totally fine. But it's really important to ground yourself and make sure that you're making this decision from a calm place, not from a place where you're fearing loss, or you're fearing your own power, or you're fearing making the wrong choice. It's really, really important that your decisions come from the heart. They come from an overflowing heart space, not from a lack mentality, you know, and a fear-based mentality. So, I want to kind of figure out, you know, the good thing in terms of what's emerging, you're getting what you want. And I feel like whatever decision you make, you're going to be making it from a place of much greater self-esteem, because you're going to be owning it. So I want to kind of pull you a couple cards of, just spit. I'm sorry, you guys. They want me to put it this way. Okay. I want to pull you guys a couple of cards of advice. I'm just being a gross girl apparently today. Yeah, the Ace of Swords reversed. I do feel like somebody's going to be reaching out soon, and this is why you're being encouraged to think about this now. But your advice is the Page of Pentacles. There we go. Wow, the Hierophant. Okay. And the Two of Swords. Yeah. So, we have Taurus energy here, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn here. Like I said, somebody's reaching out with the Ace of Swords reversed, and then we have the Two of Swords here. It might not seem like it because she's blindfolded. It's like you might not, they might make you an offer that you might not see coming. But there is, no matter what, there is a new beginning coming up for you, no matter what you choose, whether you choose to let the situation go or whether you choose to commit to it further. There's a new beginning coming up for you. So you're really being asked, like the key is being handed over to the castle, to your power. What is it that you want for yourself? Take your time. You have time, right? These are both earth energies. They move slowly. This situation or this person might try to move fast sometimes, or try to push you to make a decision really quickly. That's actually a dead giveaway that's you. If somebody's like trying to pressure you to make a big decision faster than you're ready, that's a dead giveaway that you need to look a little closer at that, right? And like really demand that you're given the time and energy and respect in order to like make the best decision for yourself. But they're saying that like there is no wrong choice, love. It's completely up to you. What would make you happy? And if that would make you happy, you should absolutely do that. If moving on to something different would make you happy, don't be afraid of that, right? Don't hold on to something that is halfway, that is Don't stay in a stalemate energy, whether that means staying or leaving, if that makes any sense. So I hope this has been helpful, love bugs. I am wishing you, healing, happiness, harmony when it comes to this situation and anything new springing forth. I think you have a lot of beautiful things on the horizon. It's been an honor and a joy to read for you today, and I hope I get to again in the future. Take care, and I'll see you later. Bye. Oh God, I'm gonna spill everything. I gotta knock it all over. Okay. Hi, group 3. Okay, I'm feeling the need to stretch, so hang on. Whatever this is, I feel like you've been very tense about it. You gotta shake it out first. Just like, do it with me. You can't see it, but I'm shaking out my shoulders and all this other shit. Like, just, yeah. With the 5 here, You've been through a lot of challenges and a lot of changes. This is the pentagonal trapezohedron, which means it's 10-sided. 10s are always about completion of a cycle. So there's some challenging cycle that like, you're done. You did it. The worst is over. You donezo's with it. It's going to get better. It has to. It has no other option. I'm hearing like, it cannot be worse. The difficult part's already over. And I kind of feel like for some of you, you're like, oh, that's it. I think some of you have a really high tolerance for like bullshit and like chaos. So you're kind of like, oh, that's the worst of it. Oh, that's not so bad. But yeah, that's the worst of it. So let's get some of your oracle cards to kind of figure out what your angels and your guides want to talk about. Oh, yeah, there it is. Chantal, new romance is imminent, either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in your existing relationship. Be open to giving and receiving love. Okay, so this is the love group. Ooh. Yeah, holy shit. Okay, Libra with the idealist. Harmonious, cooperative, balanced, socially aware, artistic, people-pleasing, fair, idealistic, aesthetic, choosy, aspirational, geometric, graceful, considerate, obliging, indecisive, judgmental, and flattering. So I'm really drawn into fair and idealistic, and I will talk about it in a little bit. We have, ooh, Burgundy, awaken your passion. This is also a 10, so again, there's a completion of a cycle here. And this is from a deck that I like to use to talk about new beginnings that are blossoming. So let's figure out from this ending what is being brought forth. Oh, gladiola. And at the time I'm filming this, it's August, and that's the flower for August. It's a birth flower for August. So happy birthday to all my August babies in our gladiola life. I don't know what this is. Don't listen to me about this, about flowers. But this is strength of character and moral integrity. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Helen Keller. Okay. I have to say something, and this is going to sound awful. Please know that I mean this I'm really drawn into the glasses and then the fact that it's Helen Keller. So there's a relationship where somebody couldn't see something. I'm really sorry, that sounds bad, but somebody couldn't see something, right? Somebody was missing perspective. I feel like similarly, you may have been looking at this situation of this person through rose-colored lenses, but there has been an ending to a cycle in this relationship. For many of you, this is a romantic relationship. Does not have to be. Some of you saw the glass half empty, some of you saw it half full. I feel like you guys were you both had a distorted perception, but in opposite directions. Whenever I see this, this makes me think of the Portal games, and we did, this is a timeless reading, but at the time I'm filming, we did just have the Lionsgate 8/8 portal. So some of you are manifesting this person back in, or they are manifesting you back in. So for many of you, you've experienced the ending of a cycle in a relationship. You may have recently gone through a breakup. You may have just had like a really, really difficult kind of experience with your partner or your person of interest. But there is new love, either a new person or there is, like, I'm hearing makeup. For a lot of you, I do feel like this is, if you're still like, if the door hasn't totally shut on this person could be a Libra, does not have to be. This person could also be a Leo, or a Virgo. But if the door is not completely shut, this person, I feel like if somebody comes back and they're telling you something, I would believe them. Now, it does not mean that you have to get back with them or that that's even the best choice. But they are honest and sincere about their revelations. There's something where even if they could see it before, they couldn't feel it, right? They could not integrate that into their soul wisdom, and thus acting on it was a challenge every step of the way. This would be like an example where somebody knows, that their partner is really loving toward them, is going above and beyond, but let's say they have like an inner emotional blockage toward receiving love. They might know logically, like, yeah, they're doing all the right things, they're checking all the boxes, but they can't feel it. So acting on that relationship, right, building that partnership still feels unnatural, like it's going against what they know of themselves and the world, if that makes sense. So if they come back to you and they're like, holy shit, I get it now, they mean it. They absolutely mean it. This person might be a life path 5 or 3, because I'm really noticing that I'm also seeing 2 here. but they mean it. They 100% mean it. Now, whether you want to take them back or not is totally different. I do feel like, because I'm really drawn into fair and idealistic, I feel like a lot of you are trying to suss out whether you're looking back over the relationship or you're, if they come back as you look at it again, because she's got one of the lenses over her eyes. If you are seeing the situation from a level head, or if you're just idealizing the possibility, right? You're in love with their potential, you're romanticizing. And I do actually want to pull a card about that idea, because I feel like it's a little complex here. Okay, the Three of Cups. Again, I feel like you're trying to decide, you might get the opportunity to decide between two people. You could have somebody coming back and you could have a new person. But I feel like you're trying to decide what would make you the happiest. The thing with the Three of Cups is this can also talk about, kind of like, especially with the alcohol here, it can kind of talk about like going out and celebrating and hang on. Back up, Vanessa. Celebrating and partying. And so for some of you, there's a situation where you're kind of trying to decide, like, did I only vibe with you so much because of the circumstances, right? Like maybe you're in the same social group. Maybe you guys would go out and party together. Maybe there was just like, it was all for fun and games. And it's like when it came time to commit, that's when things kind of started to like go off the rails. So I feel like some of you are like, are you for a good time or for a long time? And you're kind of trying to make that choice. We also have the Nine of Swords reversed. Okay. And then the Three of Wands reversed. I want to look at this but not take it. The Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so I feel like you really tried to manifest, and the Six of Cups reversed at the bottom. This person's a soulmate to you. Whoever has exited your life, or there's, it's been rocky. I feel like you really tried to manifest a solid partnership with this person with that Three of Pentacles energy. But it just never really hit the ground. We have, that was a 3, we have a 3 here, we have a 3 here, we were mentioning the 3 over here. So it's like you were really trying to cultivate something and expand and grow with this person, and I felt like it just never really clicked, or you never really knew, was there actual solid potential, or was it just kind of circumstances working out that made it easy to be together. I do feel like whatever they're coming forward with, they're saying with a Nine of Swords reverse, it's not like, I feel like they're telling you not to worry about something that hasn't manifested. Whatever is being offered to you is a sincere offer. Now, whether it's the offer that you want is up to you, right? But with the Six of Cups reverse, I'm also being called to mention that you're being guided to let go of the past. So for what it is right now in the present moment, if this is like somebody from your past, you're really being encouraged to start fresh and decide from that point. Again, it's like I feel like many of you are going to be caught between am I being, fair in this circumstance and giving them another chance, giving them, giving like the situation room to breathe, giving the situation a new foundation to start from, or am I being overly idealistic, right? Am I Jesus. Okay, this turned itself up right. It's like, am I just waiting around, waiting for my ships to come in, like waiting on something that's not going to happen because I'm very passionate about this person or this relationship. And there's something where I'm feeling like you might have to have, there are a lot of struggles here, right? And it helped you guys develop some important parts of your character. In the times you've been separated, this person's really been exposed to situations that are causing them to develop themselves morally and spiritually. But I'm also getting that you may have to really exhibit a lot of, instead of having both lenses on, it may have to be a balance where, you have optimism for the future, but you're a little more realistic about the present, especially if you struggled with that before with this person. Like, so this could mean, if you guys were really quick to commit before, maybe you take it a little slower. Maybe you say, hey, let's start as friends again. Let's develop our friendship first and see where it goes, right? Maybe this is where if you guys went out partying a lot together, you're like, hey, I want to go on real dates. I want to spend time as an actual solid, established couple to see if we could really make a go of it. There's something where you're being really called to stand in your power, and I'm hearing poised, to be very poised if this is someone from the past. Now, for some of you, that is the situation that you have let go of, and you have learned everything you need to learn from it. And as a result, you have, I feel like, strength of, character and moral integrity when it comes to yourself, right? For some of you with the Three of Cups, you may have struggled with, you know, once you get into a new relationship, making time for, you know, your friends, the things that make you happy. You know, you may have struggled to really invest in things for your future, and you've learned now to pursue your own passions in equal value and measure to your relationships. And like, well done, you've learned that. And thus a new relationship can come in for you. I do have to say, if this is a new relationship, I am seeing, just because she's like, she real naked, but she is covering her boobs, like her arms are crossed in front of her. So that's like closed off body language. For some of you, you might be defensive if this is a new partnership. And that makes sense. Your angels and your guides really want you to know that it's okay to take things one step at a time. You've been through a lot of challenges, a lot of changes, and you don't have to force yourself to go any faster than what you feel comfortable with, right? Like there's a huge element of like, you set the tone in this new relationship or in the renewal of this connection. And even if you guys have just been through a rough patch, but you haven't like separated, there is a new cycle coming in. And I feel like it's going to be a lot healthier this time around, because there's a lot more balance this time around. So I want to see, I don't know why I want to pull more cards. I don't even know what the question is. I just want to look. I'm going to flip it and then boom. Yeah, the Eight of Cups is at the bottom. I feel like a lot of you had to kind of walk away from something. For a lot of you, you had to walk away from this like ideal, like you had like a vision of this person. Maybe you put them on a pedestal, maybe you put the relationship up on a pedestal, and there's something where you're coming at it from a more grounded perspective. Yeah, Seven of Swords. There was some element of self-deception I'm feeling. The Chariot reverse, 2 sevens. Okay. The Four of Wands. Okay. And the Three of Swords reverse. So we have Cancer's energy here. For some of you, I feel like there's this element of like self-sabotage, and I feel like for a lot of you, this was through in the past, you may have tried to move through relationships too quickly. This could look like these are two cards about house and home, as well as moving. So for some of you, you may have been trying to move in too early with a particular person, or just in general, that might be like a pattern, trying to kind of move toward this, you know, really stable, long-term divine union too quickly with somebody. And it's because there is an element of like there's something in your shadow with the Chariot here that you weren't seeing about it. Some pain, some difficult emotions, some past heartbreak that I feel like, because he's just like big chillin', even though he's got 3 swords, just freaking harpooned in his chest there. He's like, oh no, it's cool, we're just hanging out. And like, I feel like for some of you, you were ignoring your past pain, and this situation from your past triggered it up so you could deal with it. This was likely something from childhood, something in your shadow. I'm getting kind of like almost some, for some of you, like some anxious attachment style wounds, some abandonment wounds. And this past situation or person was really meant to help show you this, because whatever it is, I feel like it was embedded deep in your shadow. Like it was right in front of you, but you like had a hard time seeing it for what it was, and it kept undermining your relationships. And the reason why this is important now is, again, you see yourself in a new light. You see the types of relationships you want in a new light. So whether this is a person from your past coming back, or whether this is a new person, I forgot to mention somebody's name could be Chantal or Gladiola. Somebody could be a Libra here. Sorry, I forgot to mention, or a Cancer. But whether this is a new person or a revival of an old situation, this is where you're coming at it from a more grounded perspective. You have more self-awareness, more self-love, more self-value, which those things are very different, right? We can love ourselves, but struggle to take solid, concrete steps to support ourselves, to value ourselves, and those are like 2 totally different things. But you have that now. You see it differently now. You have a balanced perspective now, where you hold yourself and the other person in equal value and measure. So you're not over giving, you're not overly self-sacrificial, but you're also like able to show up in the relationship without giving your whole self away, while also not totally closing yourself off either. I'm being called to, so I want to pull a card. Okay, so I want to pull a card to figure out for most of you if this is someone from the past returning or if this is a new person. Now, I'm feeling like I'm going to pull a card. If it's even numbered, it's going to be a new person. If it's odd, it's going to be somebody from the past. I want to say this with a caveat that this is talking about the majority, the collective energy, so it may still play out differently for you. Use your intuition, but I just feel like the need to do that. So, Spirit, that's too many. There we go. Spirit, is this most likely for the majority of people watching group 3 and a new person, which would be an even numbered card, or a returning person, which would be odd numbered? Now they're suddenly very quiet. No, it's not that one. I thought it was. Oh, they're super quiet now. They're like, well, fine, if you're going to limit me like that. I just want to know. Oh, there it is. Okay, 4 of Swords. So for many of you, this is going to be a new person. It's interesting that we have 3 of Swords here. After a period of healing from heartbreak, that's what allows, I know this is a doorway, but it looks like a keyhole. This is what like allows this person to come in for you. Again, that's not going to be for everybody, but that's you know, the majority answers that this is allowing a new person to come in, and it will be a very different experience. Very passionate, very grounded, very balanced. This person's going to want to meet you halfway. This person's going to want to, you're going to have a much more peaceful experience with this person than I think that you've had in past relationships. Ah, wow, okay. I was going to pull advice, and then a couple came flying out. Hang on, let me grab, oh, the one that's on the ground. Oh, God, I'm too friggin' old. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we have the King of Swords and the 6 of Cups that just came out. For giggles, I'm going to pull one more off the top. We have the Knight of Wands reversed, so masculine air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, masculine fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I feel like this person that was from your past, you're being called to let them go. This person, for most of you, not everybody, but I'm kind of getting the energy. So, okay, if this is somebody from your past, you're being called to, it may be that you're being called to let go of a fire sign and air signs coming in, especially with that Libra energy. The situation or the energy you're being called to let go of is somebody who comes in hot and then just fizzles out. And where the Knight of Wands can kind of be in and out of your life, I feel like the Knight of Wands reversed is somebody who can talk a big game but then doesn't actually do anything about it, or they like come in super hot and then they just like, once you know the pursuit, the chase is over, they are just done, right? It's not even like full-on fuckboy energy. They're just like, they come into your life, they feel like they've got you, they awaken that passion, and then they're like, all right, that was nice, and they kind of, you know, fade out of your life over time, or they talk about a lot of things, but they're not actually motivated to take action toward them. So for some of you, with this being a new person, you're being called to let go of this because this is somebody who is very honest, especially with the 7 of Swords. It's very important. This, you know, the person from the past may have been a bit deceptive, but this person coming in is very honest. They mean what they say what they mean, and especially with Libra energy showing up, they want to be fair to you. They would rather be measured in their approach, take things slowly with all the butterflies here. They've transformed themselves. They've gone through a lot themselves. The sword suit is notoriously difficult. So by the time you get the King of Swords, he's been kicked. Life has kicked him in the balls enough that he is humble. But he's also, you know, this would be somebody who's very intelligent, great conversationalist, very witty, very funny. This person's going to want to really be fair to you, though. This person's going to understand what you have been through, and they're going to honor and respect you through their words and their actions. They're very honest. You're going to be able to easily build trust with this person because they're going to show up and be very transparent, consistent, and congruent. Now, for some of you, I will say, this is somebody from your past who is coming back. They may have come in like this Knight of Wands where they were like, I want you, I have to have you, right? Again, awakening that passion. And then they just were like, fizzled out. They just lost interest. They could have ghosted. They just sort of faded away and then made you do the heavy lifting of, you know, trying to solve the problems, fix the relationship, figure out what was wrong, communicate, and then eventually maybe they made you they put you in a position to have to break things off. And this person, if they do come back, this person has had time to grow. this person sees, this person may, again, life may have kicked them in the balls a little bit, regardless of gender. They're spiritual balls, which we all have. They've been through the 5 year, they've been through some challenges and some changes since you guys have both been together and then parted, or since anything has happened between the two of you. They are seeing things clearly now, and with all the armor, they are ready to fight for this. They are ready to do what it takes to transform the situation, because they understand what they did wrong, and they're now like, okay, I see the changes I need to make. Again, if they're coming back, it's because they see now where they could not see before. So I hope this has been helpful for you. It has been an honor and a joy to get to read for you. I'm wishing you healing, happiness, and lots of health in this new beginning ahead of you. If you need help with your specific situation, there's a link to my shop in the description box below. But I'm wishing you guys all the best, all the brightest, and the most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye.